All right, guys, here we are with another one. I mean, I don't know who this company is. I'm not familiar with that name. It's not one of the big four that really like to get out. And even told this homeowner that Lennox was in the middle of a class action lawsuit and they might want to investigate and get a lawyer. I don't know. People that say things, man, they just, I don't know. But they were just out for the maintenance and, well, $4,253 worth of stuff on the upstairs system, and another $5,894 for what they found on the upstairs or the downstairs unit. And here's something that strikes me right. We'll get into the details. I'm not going to go into too much of this, but basically they said that both their evaporator coils were leaking and they couldn't just swap them out. They told them they had to take the plenums apart and do all kinds of work, I guess, to justify their labor. But I also told them one of their inducer motors was bad. Now, here's how they priced that inducer motor out. The inducer motor, $475. But they said the labor for replacing the inducer motor was $758. So I don't know what you're thinking when you price up your labor. Just tell them it's going to be $1,300 to replace the inducer motor. And then if they ask a breakdown, say it's a few $100s for the labor or something. When you got a part that's $475, and then you're telling them it's $758 labor to replace an inducer motor, it takes about 30 to 35, 40 minutes to replace and then run the system to make sure. But, I mean, what are you going to do to justify that? You're going to sit in the attic for 2 hours and 2.5 hours twiddling your thumbs to justify that? I mean, you don't price it separately like that. Just do one lump price, and then if they ask for a breakdown, then hey, the motor is $900 and the labor is $300 or something like that. $758 in labor for a 35-40 minute max swap out of an inducer motor and a Lennox furnace. It don't take that long. But anyway, watch the video, guys. This is another one debunked. Alright, guys, we're going behind another second opinion. Prices quoted. I believe they said this one needs a evaporator coil and a draft motor. And they said that this one also needs a flue repair, but I think that's going to be on this one because I saw some water running down that drain or running down that exhaust on that one before I turned it off. And then they said that one's leaking as well. So you saw the pricing. They, unfortunately, new construction, these weren't registered, so that's a bummer. But we'll see if they were accurate. He said they've been heating fine. They are straight ACs. That company was here on a heating service, and so I don't know why they were sniffing around the evaporator coils. Probably for a little money, I'm guessing. Never heard of the company, so it's not one of the big four around here. But $748 labor to replace this draft motor. Takes about 30 minutes to do that. I don't know. You tell me. Is $748 labor just to replace that a little on the high side? I believe it is. So it's 46 degrees outside, so I'm running these furnaces. I'm going to heat up these coils, build up the pressure in them, and then sniff around and see if I can find a leak. But first things first, let's check this draft motor out. And it's been on, it's a little hot. Let's see, what's our amp draw rating on this? 2.3. 2.3. That's high for a draft motor. But anyway, most of them now run like 0.8, 0.9, 0.5 in some cases. But anyway, I'm more concerned about the evaporator coils than this. We'll see what our amp draw is on it. 2.2. Rated at 2.35. It doesn't sound bad. And now it's at 2.1. 2 if I get right in the middle, right there. So it's below the running load on it. 2.1 again. I'll try to get my wire right in the middle. 2.2. But it doesn't sound whiny, it doesn't sound bad. And the guy says he's not had a problem at all with the heating on this unit through the winter. And during that 15-degree weather we had, it ran just fine. So, other than it being a little warm, it's running fine. So, of course, the new construction, they didn't register this system, so the warranty's expired. But I'm not gonna. I mean, it would be his option, but I'd let this thing ride until it quits. There's nothing wrong with that motor. All right, so this is the upstairs. They said both of these needed new evaporator coils, and they said the downstairs also needed the draft motor and the flue repair, but I think the flue repair was going to be the upstairs unit. I don't know how well you can see, but there's water right there. You can see it on my finger. So this flue is leaking a little bit, and the only way to really, it's a 90% furnace, so it's a condensing furnace, would really be to take this out, cut this out all the way back, and just from here, and just rebuild it so that you can reseal all these. They just weren't sealed very well, but at least it's not pouring water. But that stuff is acidic when it comes out of a furnace, and it can start rusting real bad. But we're going to open this up and see if I can sniff anything. I'm going to do it on the other one as well, and then I'm going to go outside and run the air conditioner just briefly if I don't pick up anything in here, and see if the refrigerant charge even shows that they're low or not. But while I'm up here, I might as well sniff them out. Alright, let's see if we can find anything. Just checking the usual suspects. I found it. See all that oil right there? And that does not require a coil replacement. That just requires this pipe being cut out and redone. You gotta love it. I mean, how did they miss all the oil on there? I'm gonna guess this has been leaking since this unit was installed. She said they've had added refrigerant to this thing like 4 times since they've had the house. And it's just crappy install work. Well, that was on that one. I guess the first place I'm going to start on this one is going to be right here. Which is what I did over there, and I stuck my fingers in there and it was just saturated in oil. This one is dry. I'm not feeling anything in there, so just sniff the coil a little bit. Alright, so I've been checking this one for about 10 minutes. I didn't think you guys needed to be here for the whole monotony of looking for a refrigerant leak in a Lennox coil. But I'm going around it for the 3rd time and I've still not picked up anything anywhere on this coil. So we're going to go turn these things on, and I'm expecting to find the other one low on charge, but this is the downstairs system. Just checking the usual suspects, and I didn't pick up anything from the back. Nothing up here around any of the fittings. Over here, same place that other one was. It's not leaking there. So this coil's probably okay. I think they were just trying to get a big payday. Alright guys, so this is our upstairs. This is the one that had the leak in it. Or actually, this is the downstairs. This is the upstairs. The one that had the leak in it, because I cycled the thermostats back to cooling. I did this one first. This contactor clicked. Then a couple of minutes later, this one did, which would have been me going downstairs and cycling that one to cooling. So they both have the same standing pressures. And so this is our downstairs unit here. And this one's going to be our upstairs unit here. So the standing pressures are about the same. I'm just going to turn them on. I'm just going to watch these. These are both going to be my suction pressures. These are straight AC units. It's 48 degrees outside. It's 72 in the house. So I just want to see how my evaporator is going to react on both of these after they run for a couple of minutes. So as you can see, the one we found the leak in is running, the suction pressure starting to drop on that one. This one's been hanging around 103, 104, 105. This one's been staying in the 90s. So that's the one that's got our leak in it. So, and I'm not sure if they added refrigerant to it. I didn't ask. I'll have to ask. But I mean, this is suction pressure on both units and cooling upstairs, downstairs. And it's 47 degrees outside and 71 roughly in the house. So they're not far apart. But I know for a fact this one's got a leak. We saw that, we found that. I didn't find anything on the downstairs unit that was giving me an indication. I didn't pick up any refrigerant in the evaporator coil at all. So maybe they were just putting icing on the cake, I don't know. This one really doesn't even need a coil. We can just go up there and cut that piece of copper out, get that fitting out, and straight pipe that and 90 it right back into the line set, and that'll fix that problem. They can run these things for 3-4 years, and then when they get ready to get some better equipment, put that $9,000, $10,000 into that and not these things. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.